week after week, man, it just seems like college football keeps getting crazier and crazier. You've got crazy games, crazy outcomes, really unpredictable outcomes. I mean, there's certain things that have happened this past weekend that we could have never imagined would have happened. Things that we thought might happen but didn't think they would. I mean, these games that we're watching week after week are just so unpredictable, man.
Yeah, man. I mean, some of these games got me questioning if I know ball, dude. I mean, I'm not even gonna lie to you. I see stuff happen, and I'm like, but which I mean, there's such surprises sometimes that like nobody could predict some of this stuff. But yeah, man. I
100%.
mean, it makes you question everything, question the preseason rankings, question a lot of the stuff. And I love it. Like to, I mean, it's wild, so it makes it interesting for sure. And I honestly, dude, I don't even know who's going to be in the playoffs. Like,
No, no,
there's a few
you're right,
teams that
man.
I could say might be locks, but that I would be very shocked to not see them there. But I couldn't name the top 12 right now and be confident about that. And
Right.
so that's a wild thing about this year, man. And you're seeing it. These teams, even unranked matches aren't guaranteed wins by top ranked teams. You know what I mean? And we're talking top
100%.
10 teams. And so like we're seeing all kinds of crazy upsets and different things happening throughout this college
Yeah.
football season. So yeah, it's been great, man. As a college football fan, though, seeing some of the wild things happen. That's what you like. You like things getting shook up a little bit, competition kind of more leveled out. I feel like than what it has been in the
Yep.
past. So I don't think there's a
100%.
single. I know we can name the team that we might think is the best team, which we did make some people mad apparently with that on our last prediction on who we thought was the best. But man, I don't know that there's a single team that really just sticks out as unbeatable because they're not. No, there's not a single team that couldn't be beat right now.
Yeah, I think as far as I can remember, this is to this point through 7 weeks, this has been the craziest college football season that I can remember. Just different outcomes and things you never would have expected. I
Yeah,
mean, week after week, I'm losing every parlay that I'm trying to put together, man, because it's just so unpredictable. But
crazy.
yeah, I agree with you. I mean, off the top, I mean, I could probably think of two or three teams that I'm pretty confident that are maybe not necessarily dominant, but the best teams in the league or in the entire college football. But I mean, it's not a long list, and it might not even be a list.
And it could
But
change in the
kind of
next couple of weeks. You know, it's
yeah,
that's
one
what's
hundred
crazy.
percent.
So
One
yeah,
hundred percent, and that's what makes what you and I do so hard. But we continue to do it. We're here for another episode. Uh, just if you're watching, just go ahead and subscribe to the channel. Like, comment, all that good stuff before we dive into this episode. Just make sure you hit that subscribe button. But starting off, of course, on this channel, we always talk Tennessee Volunteers first and foremost. So Tennessee had a tough battle against Arkansas. Initial thoughts on the game: it shouldn't have played out the way it played out. I feel like you probably shouldn't have struggled at certain points in the game the way you did. Multiple opportunities to take control of the game and didn't. It's kind of sounds like the same song and dance. Said the same thing 2 weeks ago when we played Mississippi State. Um, yeah, I mean it's the same song and dance, same team doing the same
yeah,
things, still getting penalized like crazy. But Tennessee does come out with the win 34-31 at home against Arkansas. What do you think, man?
yeah, man. And I'll just go ahead and start out with just the positive here to get
For sure,
started.
for sure.
We did get the win, and that's something you just say. And I know that like shouldn't just and sometimes it is hard to be happy with a win. It's a win, but again, in the chaos of things that we've talked about here lately, coming out
Mhm.
with a win is usually a pretty good week because that's not been guaranteed here lately for a lot of teams. So, conference win, it is a win. We're 5-1. That's great at this point of the season. If you would have asked me that early in the season, that's where I wanted to be at least. I mean, obviously want to be undefeated, but um, and then also, man, Joey Aguilar, dude. I mean, he's playing well. And Deshaun Bishop in this game had 146 yards rushing. I know he kind of come up a little bit with the injury there, but hopefully he's going to be okay and back soon. And
Yeah.
offensively, just great. Like I said, there it was surprising to see Brazel not do as well, but in those instances, man, you've got other receivers, that are stepping up with Braylon Staley had over 100 yards. Miles
Uh-huh.
Kitselman had 56 yards, and then Matthews had 46 yards. Um, some things here and there that you would like to see cleaned up, especially the offensive line on penalties and stuff like that. But offensively, man, just another great performance, 34 points. Um, it's just the same thing like we've been talking about though defensively. Um, in the secondary, but this time I was really surprised to see just the defense as a whole struggle, man. They ran the ball all over us. Um,
Yes.
and talk about stats there, with the running game. I mean, they had quite a few passing yards too. Don't get me wrong. They were definitely
Yep.
exposed. I think Mike Washington Jr., the one that said like, about there were some holes in this Tennessee defense, and he was right. And he had 131 yards. Taylor Green had 63. Some of those big plays that was killing me though, man, is when we have them on like third and long and just
Yep.
giving it up, man. Several times I've seen that happen. So definitely tough to watch. The biggest takeaway, like for me, is like when we were up 17, and that was the moment to take over the game. Had we
Yep.
took over the game right there and played out the second half like that, how the defense, they had a couple really good series and you're like, that's defense. That's what you want to see. Had we played that out and kind of just ran off with the game at that point, I really wouldn't be talking too much negatively about how the defense played and stuff, but they let them right back in the game. And I do it again with coaching. I think sometimes we just get so conservative, um, and it's just specifically. I know it was like 4th and 4, but you're in that weird spot of the field. Your defense has been struggling and your
Yep.
offense have been doing great. I feel like you kind of want to push to get down the field there and score again and, kind of get that game out of reach. It's like we got that 17-point lead. Let's just hold on
Mhm.
to it. And, we didn't always do that. Back when, like, if anything, Heupel's been people have said he'll run up the score sometimes and stuff on teams, or
Yep.
used to. So I don't. This season, I feel like we have kind of done that a little bit, which that could have came in from like how the last couple seasons, we had to be a little more conservative. But I feel like with this team, we don't. Sorry to kind of ramble there, but I just, offense, it's great. Defense it's struggle, and it's like I almost want to. I think I'd even joke to you, or it was either you or one of my buddies. I sent a text to. I was like, I want to watch when they're on offense, and then like I almost just like want to turn the game for when they're on their defense. Just to see some good football and be happy about it, and
Yep.
then because
Yep.
it's like it's an emotional roller coaster as that goes through.
It
So,
is, man. It is.
but
Yeah,
yeah,
that's
go
definitely
go
the
ahead. What do
best
you
way
think,
to
man?
describe. Yeah, that's the best way to describe Tennessee football so far this season. Is just an emotional roller coaster. Um, it's funny that we sit here and not necessarily bash the Vols week by week, but I mean, we obviously point out their flaws, but I mean, at the end of the day, we are 5-1. Um, there's been so many years in the past that we would have killed to be in this position this through basically half the season so far. Um, but kind of going back to the defense and their struggles so far this year, man. I mean, you're talking about an Arkansas team that coming into this game was 2-3. I mean, already a losing record, not even 500, and they put up 496 total yards of offense against you. I mean, that's the type of things that you expect a Tennessee offense to do to other teams. They, offensively, minus the scoreboard, they outplayed us offensively according to the statistics. So that's really frustrating. Um, as far as other things in the defense is concerned, I heard you mention it about the third down conversions and stuff like that. Our defense let Arkansas go 7 for 13 on third down conversions. And I mean, most of the time when you're talking about statistics like this, and your opponent leads you in those key statistics, usually it's a loss. I mean, let's be honest. If Arkansas was just slightly better of a team than they are, we would have took a loss on Saturday. I'm almost certain of that.
Winning in the
Um,
turnovers is the only thing we had going there on that.
yeah, which yeah, you're right. So and then other negatives, I mean, as far as the offense is concerned, I don't really have too many negatives. I do have one major negative, and that's it about the offense. and it's the discipline that we play with on that front line. I mean, penalty after penalty after penalty after penalty. You and I were texting each other back and forth about it. Tennessee ends
Yeah.
up getting 10 penalties for a total of 78 yards in this game. I mean, that's just ridiculous. I mean,
Yeah.
we've preached about it every week. And a couple weeks ago, there's been a couple games this season that we've kind of straightened up and not had as many penalties. But here we are again, right back to the same thing. You're at home. You're not on the road. It's not loud when you have the ball. Why are you jumping off sides? Why are you getting false starts? I mean, it's just it's really frustrating. It's a drive killer.
Yeah.
Yeah, and when you do stuff like that next week, you're gonna get your crap kicked in because you go down to Alabama and Tuscaloosa and get 78 yards worth of penalties and multiple offsides from your offensive line. You're gonna probably get beat. Let's just be honest. Um, but I could continue to ramble on and on and on, but overall, I am happy that Tennessee's 5-1, or 2-1 in the SEC. So all of our hopes for playoffs and potentially beyond, SEC championships, stuff like that, all of those types of goals are still within our reach. Um, I think you texted me, and I was thinking about it when you texted me. But Braylon Staley, man, probably a career game. I mean, he was catching
Yeah.
every single thing thrown at him, looked great. Of course, we know what Joey Aguilar is about. I did kind of have a semi heart attack when I saw him go down and get. But what do you think? I think it just ended up being he got the breath knocked out of him from falling on top of the ball. I guess.
Yeah, you seem like late on that ball.
Yeah.
What got like and when you're watching it live, you just see him fall like that, you think you're good. But I think where he had like had the breath knocked out of him, and it shows him just laying there. You see
Yeah.
like almost a twitch, and I guess that was him
Yeah.
trying to catch his breath. But I thought, oh man, has he been knocked out? And
Yeah. When I
what?
saw that, I
Yeah.
freaked, dude.
Yeah. And so I literally, I mean, right there, first off and foremost, you're worried about him and his health. And then you're
Yeah.
also, as a fan too, you're like, well, that's the season. If Joey Aguilar is out,
Yeah.
that's the season's done. I mean,
100%.
and
100%.
you can say that's negative, being a negative vault. That's just being real, man. He's the
That's
man
realistic.
there this year,
Yep.
and without
Yep.
him, we're not playing the same. So, I know I just kind of held my breath, dude. It's funny you brought that up because I wanted to tell this one thing. So we've got this little dog, me and my wife, and I put him out on our little lead there to so you go outside because he was just sitting there whining during the game. So I knew he needed to go. And my wife had got home right about that time, and he was barking and going crazy outside. And so she comes in, she's like had him with her, and she's like, "Do you not hear him barking?" And I legitimately did not hear him barking, and I was like, I'm so sorry, but I was so focused on what was going on, watching Joey. I was like, I completely just zoned out, man. So yeah, I was
It was
definitely
concerning.
concerned for him, and then obviously the team too. So um,
Yeah.
that would have been devastating for Tennessee football had he not been able to pop back up and be all right. But then you look at the replay and you're like, okay. And when he gets
Yeah.
up and is moving, you're like, all right, I see what
Yeah.
happened now. So
Yeah, it definitely makes sense.
yeah,
Yeah, I'm, over and above all, it may not have been the prettiest, it may not have been the best, but we come out with a W.
yeah,
That's the main thing. A win's a win.
absolutely,
Glad to see it. Glad to see it. We'll get into it on our Friday episode, but we've got probably our toughest test to this point so far, coming up this weekend. Um, Looking forward to that one for sure, man.
absolutely, man.
But speaking of, if you're ready to move on, I don't really have too much else to say about this game. I mean,
Yeah, I think we kind of covered everything, man. Like I said, we're both glad to have the win, and another kind of put you on the edge of your seat game. So hopefully we can, and it'll probably be that way against Alabama. It's not getting easier this
yeah,
coming weekend, but I'm hoping we can get to some of these games we're supposed to take care of and actually
yeah,
not have to sit on the edge of our seat for it. So
yeah. Well, and I remember vividly on Friday's episode, we talked about how we just hope it's not going to be one of those nail biter,
yeah,
heart attack, blood pressure level games, and what it ended up being exactly one of those games. So. It seems like that's pretty much par for the course for the Vols. Being a Vol fan, I mean, it's really it's really no surprise to be honest with you.
Absolutely,
But
man. What to
moving
expect?
on. Yeah, yeah. Moving on. We'll just continue to grind it out and hopefully continue to keep on winning. Speaking of our opponent next week, um, Alabama goes to Missouri this past weekend. Plays a tough Missouri team. They were undefeated going into the game. Hard fought game, a lot closer of a game than I thought it was going to be. But it's probably just because I've been sleeping on Missouri all season long. But they looked tough. Bama did come out with the win,
Yeah.
27-24 in a very, very, very tight game. Um, I really only have a couple little things that I want to say about this game, and then you can go ahead and talk about whatever you want to talk about with it. There's two things that stuck out to me in this game, and that was obviously Missouri being a better team than I thought they were, playing tough, playing physical, taking Alabama the distance, obviously. Um, and then as far as Alabama and their side of things offensively, I wanted to touch on the offensive line, man. Their offensive line seems like they've got some struggles. From what I could see watching the game, it looked like Ty Simpson was running for his life almost every play. A lot of pressure was getting through that front five for Alabama. So that's kind of concerning for them. Um, it just looked like, as far as their play on offense and stuff like that, that's what I witnessed. And then on the flip side of that, even though he was under a lot of duress and a lot of pressure, Ty Simpson, their quarterback, man, to me, I think that he plays really good. I think he's poised. He delivers the ball when he needs to, kind of steps outside the pocket when he needs to. So I
Yeah.
was really impressed with his play. Over and above all, just watching him, what times I have watched him so far this season, he's tough. That's if I could describe his play in one word, it's just tough. Doesn't care
Yeah,
to
man.
take hits. Doesn't care to run the ball and lower the shoulder and hit somebody while he's running. Um, I remember week one when they played Florida State and got beat. There was a lot of people in the national media that said the only player that played good for Alabama that whole game was Ty Simpson. So I think he's a tough guy, man. And but like I said, shout out to Missouri. I've slept on you all season. That's my apologies. Even though you didn't get the win, you looked good, and I think Missouri could potentially continue to have success this season.
Yeah, man. Yeah, I'd agree. I'm not surprised Alabama won the game because that was fully my prediction. It
Right.
was
Same.
closer than what I thought, like you said, for
Yep.
sure. But Bama's kind of been on a roll right now, and then the flip side of that for Bama to go into Missouri, who's obviously a better team, when we realize at Missouri they did get the win on an away game. It's a
That's
big
right.
ranked win for Bama there. And the Ty Simpson man, the thing you were talking about there with him, dude, very clutch towards the end there. If you remember on that, I don't know if you
Oh
got to see
yeah.
this part, but the drive where Bama ended up going up 27-17.
Hmm.
They went for it on fourth down, and they were in that
Yes.
weird spot, and he threw an
Yes.
absolute dime pass on the
Yep.
sideline. Receiver was completely covered. I mean, he just threw it where only he could catch it, and then
Hmm.
to finish the drive there scoring. I mean, very clutch. Down That was his most clutch moment. I feel like that drive. And then
Yep.
ultimately that's what won Bama the game. I mean, Missouri put it a 10 point stretch, and kind of late there for Missouri to have a chance to come back.
Hmm.
But good game, a lot closer than I thought, and I agree, man. That pressure on the line. Obviously, we'll probably talk more into that as we get into Friday's
Yep.
episode. Before that Tennessee Bama game.
Hmm.
But that definitely was a weakness that I seen on Bama was some of the pressure that they put on Ty Simpson, and
Yep.
kudos to Missouri's defense on that one. So
Yeah, yeah. It's funny you mentioned that fourth down play because literally in my notes I have the same thing. On that
yeah,
particular drive, they went for it on fourth down twice, got it both
twice.
times. That resulted in a touchdown. And I guess that kind of just speaks to Kalen DeBoer and his gutsy play call style.
Yeah,
I guess you kind of live and die by that. And obviously this time it worked out for them. But
yeah,
kudos to that man because I'm a firm believer in risky plays winning ball games, man. And you
yeah.
put all your faith in your quarterback and your offense, and You just let them kind of go out there and do what you expect them to do, and they came away with it, man. Yeah, I'm
Yep.
I'm like you. If that drive doesn't happen with the two fourth down conversions that led to a score, if that doesn't happen in that ball game, I
Yep.
think we're looking at a completely different outcome. I really do.
Yeah, man, absolutely. And like you said, you got to be able to take those chances sometimes to get those big
Yeah.
moments. So
And what's crazy about this game is or not necessarily the game, but the outcome of it. Both teams are now 5-1. So I mean, you're looking at two teams with the same record, same SEC record. The SEC is just so wide open. It's so
yeah,
wide open. It's really insane.
for
I'll be
sure, man.
shocked. I will be shocked that if by the end of the season, going into the SEC championship game when we do get there eventually, I'll be shocked if there's a SEC team that's still undefeated overall.
Yeah,
Overall,
agree.
and maybe even in the SEC. You got Ole Miss, Texas A&M right now are undefeated in the conference.
Yeah,
So we'll see if that stands. Really really interesting to think about there.
yeah,
Um, there's we started the episode off with talking about how crazy this week was and how many games there were and how many unpredictable things happened. And I mean, there's so many games that we kind of want to talk about, and really not in depth that much, but just kind of mention notable games. Um, we'll just go ahead and rattle off a couple here, and then I do want to talk about the game of the week that we predicted this past week. Kind of crazy outcome. Real quick, let's just knock this out. Number 10, now ranked LSU versus South Carolina. Watching that game, I think we did predict that game on Friday's episode. I think we both said LSU was going to win because it was a night game at
yes, yeah,
Death Valley.
yeah,
So to me, that one's really no surprise. Just the way the game played out. I did watch some of it, and to me, really no surprise that LSU pulls out the win there. Something I was thinking about with LSU, it seems like they've struggled so much this season and haven't had that great of a season, but dude, they're still sitting at 5-1.
yeah. Top
And
10
I
in
was,
the nation at 5-1. Yeah,
yeah, it's so crazy. It just seems like they aren't having that good of a season, but they're 5-1.
yeah,
But anyway, LSU gets the win over South Carolina 20-10. Texas A&M, Florida. Texas A&M, and we can riff on this one real quick if you want to. I
yeah,
know you've got some stuff to say about Texas A&M, but watching the game when I first tuned into it, Texas A&M and M and Florida, the game was actually a close game. It looked like Florida could strike a touchdown at any point and make it a tied game or go up.
yeah.
Um, but that's not the way the game played out at all. And we got certain feelings about Texas A&M now, don't we?
Yeah, man, Texas A&M's tough, man. And like I said, the game was close to a lot of it, but like a good team should, they pulled away and stayed
Right.
away from it in the end. 34-17. Um, Florida's going to be one of those sneaky teams, man. You got to watch out for. They've kind of proved that when they played Texas, and their defense is
Yep.
good, and offensively they can have moments too now. So, Florida's not going to have a successful season by any means when it comes to record and where they're going to be at. They're not going to the SEC championship. They won't be in the playoffs. And I'm not saying that as hate, Florida fans, believe it or not. Obviously I'm not a fan of Florida at all. I really
Right.
dislike Florida a
Right.
lot.
Right.
So I love it. I love that y'all are losing. But they're a team you got to take serious. But um, Texas A&M, man, I think they're a legit team. I like that they're fourth and jumped Ole Miss. Ole Miss, because of Ole Miss's struggles against Washington State, it's another game I'm sure
Hmm.
we would have mentioned there. That was very surprising, um, and I think that was fair to jump Texas to the fourth
Yep.
spot and keep Ole
100%.
Miss and put Ole Miss at five. Um, and I like I said, I think Texas A&M is one of the tougher team in the SEC right now for sure. Um, but yeah, Florida can be sneaky, but they did, like I said, what you're supposed to do as a good team. You fought at the
Yep.
end, hard fought game, but you pulled away from them a little bit in the end,
Yep.
and and finished that game. And that's something
Yep.
I would have liked to see more of Tennessee against Arkansas. But yeah, that's kind of my opinion on that game.
Yeah, Tennessee played Texas A&M the past 2 seasons, right? We're not playing them this year,
We don't play
and
them this year.
yeah, I know,
Yeah,
but I'm thinking we played them the past 2 seasons. I'm so glad we're not playing them this year.
yeah, yeah, man. So glad.
Um, yeah, so there's another outcome right there. Crazy game, of course. All these games are wild. Of course, Texas, Oklahoma. A lot of people didn't see this coming. The return of John Mateer. I didn't think John Mateer was going to come back and play.
Yeah,
I
that
think
was
it's a
wild.
little too soon, in my opinion.
I think
But
it showed that it was
Texas,
a little too soon.
yeah, Texas bounces back from losing to Florida, man, and pretty much shuts Oklahoma down defensively,
Yeah.
and wins the game 23-6. What are your thoughts on this one?
Well, man, you predicted it. You predicted Texas to win. I was the one that was on the other side of that, very shocked that Texas, and a lot of it was just how Texas has played this year. And I just didn't think they were in a spot that they were going to take down number 6 team in the nation.
Yeah.
Um, Honestly, it might the backup quarterback played the game before and had a chance to play. Or maybe if he had kind of stayed in that rhythm after playing him for, and maybe that Texas defense is tough too especially when
Yeah.
they want to be, and so he might have not been good. And I understand you want to play John Mateer if you can. I just don't know if it was maybe too soon for him to come back. I think what he had like his hand was bleeding pretty bad before the half or something. I know one of my buddies texted me about that. I missed that part, but apparently
Mm,
his hand was bleeding pretty bad too. And I guess where he had surgery and stuff. I don't know if there was any issues with stitching or whatever.
yeah.
You got an injury, sometimes you get it kind of knocked loose a little bit, but
Right.
obviously it wasn't that bad because I'm pretty sure he played the whole game, but be correct. I didn't catch a lot of this game,
Yeah. Yeah. He
other than
did.
kind
He
of
did.
keeping up with it. So, um, yeah, I mean, I'm surprised. I think I'm glad they didn't take Oklahoma out of the top 25 just because I know they dropped to 14, it looks like, but um, Texas, it's a big rivalry game being at Texas. Quarterback coming back from an injury that obviously was affected by it, I feel like, in the way he played. And also, Texas was a big win over a top 10 opponent, putting them at 21. I think it's safe to put them back into that top 25 because, like I
Yeah.
said, Florida is one of those sneaky teams. And Arch
Mhm.
Manning, man, got to give him some credit in this game too. I think he found a little bit of a rhythm and played well overall.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
um, got to give him credit there in a big time game. So and that could be his moment of getting him back kind of to
Yeah.
where I'm not saying Arch Manning's gonna be right back to where he was supposed to be and all that, but you know. Um, that could be the moment though if it flips his season around, gives him the confidence that he needs moving forward. Because I think his confidence got absolutely shot in that first game against Ohio State,
100. Yep.
and I think
100%.
that has just affected him to this point. So
Yep.
could have been a confidence game, man, and Texas still could be or a team that's right there to really make a run for things. They're ranked
Mhm.
21, two loss. Just never know, man. It's just there's a lot
Yeah.
of good teams in Texas right now. Texas
Yeah.
A&M, Texas Tech at number 7, very sneaky,
Yeah, man.
right there in the top 10, man. So yeah, Texas got some good football, I guess, going on right now. So
No doubt. Yeah, man. Like you said, this could be Arch's click moment. I mean, this could be the point of the season where everything kind of clicks for him. We've talked enough trash about Texas and Arch on this podcast, but we're not backtracking. We're just calling it like we see it week by week. I think Arch in this game, Arch didn't do anything absolutely spectacular. I mean, he didn't
yeah,
light up the statistical. He didn't light up the stats or anything like that. He just played good enough to win a ball game, and a lot of times that's all
yeah,
you got to do. Don't turn the ball over. He didn't. I think he threw for what he threw for 160 some yards, no interceptions. Um, that's all you can ask for. As long as you're not putting the ball in harm's way and you're helping your team win instead of lose,
yeah,
that's all you can ask for. I think the biggest thing to take away from this game is just how Texas's defense kind of stepped up to the occasion. With the return of John Mateer, I'm sure a lot of people were like, well, he's back, barring injury. It's not like he had an Achilles injury or an ACL injury
No.
or a separated shoulder. I mean, it was something to do with his hand, albeit it was his throwing hand. But, um, you know, uh, obviously Oklahoma thought it was time for him to come back. But,
Yeah,
the defense really did their thing. Obviously, Oklahoma did not score a touchdown the entire game. They just kicked 2 field goals. John Mateer comes back, 3 interceptions, no touchdowns. So,
yeah,
Texas definitely did their thing defensively in this game. And
for sure.
one thing I remember saying in our Friday episode was that if Oklahoma does now, it doesn't really matter now because it didn't happen, but I said if Oklahoma does play with a second string quarterback, that's a good opportunity for you to find some success in the running game to alleviate some pressure of a backup quarterback. I don't know what happened, but Oklahoma had a total of 48 rushing yards this entire game.
Yeah, I mean, yeah,
So
you're
they
not going to win many
definitely
games
didn't
with
go
that
that
in
route.
6 points. Yeah, not going to win many
uh,
games with that in 6 points. So just ain't
yeah,
going to be.
yeah. Terrible, terrible, terrible. But yeah, there you go. Texas gets another W. Even though they've lost two this season, they've only got one conference loss. So there you go, another team that's still alive, even though they've had a lot of ups and a lot of downs so far this season. Um, Speaking of ups and downs, let's go ahead and get into our game of the week from this past week. We declared Indiana at Oregon to be our game of the week. And it didn't disappoint. Crazy game. I was shocked. I mean, I really thought that Oregon would win, especially being at home. I definitely wasn't. I guess I wasn't sleeping. Well, the comment that I made about Indiana in the last episode probably indicates I was sleeping on them. I did say the only thing I associate Indiana with
Yeah.
is my grade school Pee Wee basketball team.
Well, basketball is usually what you think of Indiana, to be fair. So, yeah,
So Indiana marches into Eugene, Oregon and gets a win, double digit win, mind you, 30 to
yeah.
20. I didn't expect this.
No, man. And Indiana has obviously been showing they can play well this year so far, and definitely deserve to be in the top 10. But dude, this game was a statement win to go into Oregon, beat them 30 to 20. Indiana's the real
Yeah.
deal, man. And
Mm,
and the thing is, on game day
100%.
too, Pat McAfee, which you do, he's Indiana. That's his area there. He's
True.
gonna definitely
True.
pull for him and predict them. But he's the only one that predicted Indiana to win this game. So I think
Yeah.
everybody was kind of thinking like we were. I had Oregon winning. I think you did as well.
Hmm.
Um, and Indiana showing up and winning this game like they did in Oregon, man. Dude, Indiana's right there in the mix. They're number 3 and deservingly shut. So man, they're right there in the mix
They
of
look
things.
tough. They look
They're
tough.
very tough. So
Yeah, I mean, looking at the statistics, I mean, I don't know. I really don't know where the game got away from Oregon. I mean, is it the 2 interceptions? Who knows?
the
Um,
turnovers didn't help, I'm sure. And the kind of I was kind of flipping back and forth in the flow of it. Indiana had some rushing, of course, a couple touchdowns rushing
uh,
by Roman Himby, and then the quarterback man, Fernando. He had 215 yards. He did have a touchdown and interception, but he
yeah,
was 20 for 31, so pretty accurate. I would say just the grit of the team, man, to really just go in there and be confident, make the plays that needed, and
yeah,
it was close though all through, but at the
right.
end there is when they kind of were able to separate that a little bit. Um, so, I-
Yeah.
like I said, very
I mean,
close
it's
game
it's
throughout.
it's definitely everything. I mean, the way the game was is definitely everything that you would want in a game of the week for sure. So shout out to the Hoosiers, man. I now respect you and look at you as a football school.
Yeah, man. Absolutely. You have to, and it
Yeah.
deservingly being at that top 3 spot. Um, and one of the other games that that happened this weekend that I know we had talked about was Ohio
Hmm.
State playing Illinois. Um,
Right.
last podcast that we had, or the one previous, when we talked about Miami being, we thought was the best college football team. apparently we really angered some Ohio State fans, and you would have thought that we said Ohio State was just absolute trash. Um, First off, we both can agree Ohio State is one of those top teams in the nation at the moment. You know, so
100%.
we wasn't saying that Ohio State is awful and all these things. Um, they went out and did their thing against Illinois. Beat them 34-16. And I kind of expected that, man. Illinois,
Of
I just
course.
didn't think was legit, and I thought Ohio State would definitely be too much for them, even at Illinois. Um, I do want to say though, Indiana did beat that team 63-10. So I don't know, Ohio State, are you the best team in your conference, or you know,
Right.
could that be up for
Yeah.
debate? But hey, there's something else to fuel the fire for that just a little bit. Obviously, I don't like Ohio State, so I wish they could have lost this past weekend, but hey, I'll give them credit. They're up there. And enjoy the rest of your cupcake schedule you got for the rest of the year because they don't play anybody till like Michigan, I think, the end of the year. So I think that's their next ranked game. And that's the last game of their season. So, but
Yeah.
they're tough.
Uh,
They're
real
tough,
quick, and
man.
yeah, they are.
Yeah,
But this is interesting. I didn't watch this game, so I'll be honest with you. But I do have a few things pulled up about it. This is very interesting. Illinois actually racked up more total yards of offense than Ohio State did. 295, 272. More passing yards, 248 to 166. More first downs. Of course, they had more time. They had less time of possession, but more plays, less
yeah,
penalty yards. So I mean, I don't know. I guess just the talent level and the way some of the. I mean, usually when you look at stats just to try to see who won a game,
yeah.
usually total yards, less penalty yards, more first downs, things of that nature usually pinpoint your winner. In this case, not the case. Kind of
Yeah.
crazy.
Yeah, and I would say it has to do with a lot, man. I mean, you know, like Ohio State's quarterback, only put up 166 yards. We did have two touchdowns, but no
Right.
interceptions. I'd say
Right.
Ohio State have just been limiting penalties. There,
Yeah.
I personally, in the big games that I have watched them, I did watch a little bit of this one, and then when they played
Mhm.
Texas, that's been their two big games this year. That actually were against some ranked opponents, and uh, their offense isn't spectacular in those games, and but they haven't made mistakes, and I think that's the key is uh, not making the mistakes. And it looks like Illinois. I know they had a pick, and I didn't get to watch all
Mhm.
that, so I don't know how that all played out. But Ohio State's
Right.
defense, obviously, they don't allow many points at all, even with this game, 16 points. So I mean,
Mhm.
I think that's a big contributing factor to their success. Especially in
Yep.
these big games. What I've seen in the two big games I've seen them play in, it's been the defense that
Yep.
that has really kind of won the games for them. But um,
Yep.
if, they were just solid, man. I mean, two rushing touchdowns, two pass touchdowns. Like I said, if you don't turn the ball over and do what you got to do, and um,
Yeah.
it definitely just didn't never feel like a super close game or anything. So I mean, I'm
Yeah.
not gonna hate on Ohio State so much that I won't admit they handled the game and did what they're supposed to
Right.
do. But that is interesting, those stats, because
It is. It is crazy.
normally you would think that that would be a lot different score than what it was. So
Right.
that
Um.
was close.
Yeah. So I mean, just a crazy slate of football this past weekend. I mean, banger after banger, a lot of close games. Going back and just kind of scrolling through scores. That's I
Yeah,
like doing that after all the games have been played,
yeah,
especially looking for games that I didn't really pay attention to, but I wanted to kind of see who won. It's odd, man. A couple weeks ago we had a lot of overtime games. This week we had a lot of, and if you look at the scores, you'll see it. We had a lot of teams, oddly enough, only won by 3 points. I thought that was kind of crazy.
Mhm.
And just in your own time, just kind of go back and look at that. It's kind of weird. There's only
Yeah,
one more game that I personally want to talk about, and then we can kind of move on to our reactions to the top 25 AP poll. I don't have much to say about this game at all, so it's going to be real quick.
yeah,
I would personally consider this to be an upset alert game. Um, And reason being is, although Penn State wasn't ranked at the time, they're still Penn State. And you can't tell me, and when I say they're still Penn State, I mean they still have talented players. Obviously, they're
Yeah,
having an unfortunate season. Things haven't gone their way. But you can't tell me that anyone would have expected them to take a loss to Northwestern. Now,
no,
granted, no one would have expected them to take a loss to UCLA either.
right, right.
But to me, for some reason, this just still feels like an upset. So I don't know if you feel the same way. It's kind of a weird situation. But Northwestern beats Penn State 22-21. This is Penn State's third straight loss.
Yeah,
They lost to, what got the ball rolling on these losses was the loss to Oregon, and that's an understandable loss.
yeah,
Then you lose to O and whatever UCLA team. That's unacceptable. And then you do this, and it's just insane. And what it has done is it's now led to the third coach, to my knowledge, this season to be fired. And James Franklin obviously has lost his job at Penn State. You know, whatever he's done in the past, obviously they don't care. You can't
no,
do what he's done so far this season, being ranked as high as you were ranked preseason and
yeah.
through week 3 or whatever. I mean, you're talking ranked one, two, three. You can't drop games like this and keep your job. Not in today's world, man. Not in today's world.
Not at all, man. And I don't think we could definitely consider this an upset. I know we didn't have that real big upset of alert
Yeah,
that we normally have, but this Penn State for the second week in a row, upset alert. There, that that I think we definitely could. That was the biggest surprise, an upset of the week, in my
yeah,
opinion. Um,
yeah. I was definitely shocked by it when I saw it.
yeah, for sure, man. And this was a
So yeah,
home game, bro. Home game
uh, Penn
at Penn State
State, yeah,
to add
yeah,
to it.
to
It's a
beat it
home
all,
game. Yeah. I
and
seen
that's
the coach
that's
leaving there, and I thought it was because they were booing him as he was leaving. So, and that's kind of when when the fans are just completely booing it. The coach is either in the hot seat or he's on his way
yeah,
out. So,
yeah, and that's kind of why I thought that it would be warranted and back. We can back up this being an upset alert type of game.
yeah,
Crazy, crazy, crazy. Obviously disappointed for anybody that's a Penn State fan. Obviously, I really don't care. Um, I don't think anything of them really, to be honest with you.
same. I mean, there's no hate, but there's also no love. I'm just kind of
Yeah.
whatever, when it comes to them. So, yeah,
My
but
my only
as a
thought.
fan, I couldn't imagine that would be terrible to be ranked
Oh
number
yeah,
two going into the
yeah,
preseason and just have such a terrible downfall. So
yeah. Easily the worst fall off this season by any team. Easily,
yeah,
it's not even a debate. Um, and personally, I'll say this and then I'll move on. Personally, I think Penn State's overrated every single year. So there you go. That's how I feel about them.
so
Uh,
I mean, I made the comment, when they played Oregon about after they lost about how they always lose those big games, but
they do.
not used to seeing them
Yeah.
lose these small games though.
Yep.
That's been crazy. So
It's becoming a habit for them. So speaking of Penn State, they're nowhere to be seen in this week's top 25 AP poll. No surprise there.
not surprised.
Um, but I've got the thing pulled up here. We're going to put it on the screen as well so everybody can see it. But we always mention where Tennessee is. Tennessee is now ranked number 11.
Yep.
So what we do? We went from were we 13 then 11? Is that how it went?
12, 12 to 11.
12, 12.
Yeah.
So we slide up one spot. Maybe a couple teams, maybe Oregon losing might have helped because they got bumped down, whatever the case is. But Tennessee's sitting at number 11 now. I'm fine with it. I'm cool with it. Don't slide us up too much just because we beat a 2-4 team by 3 points. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Our performance on the field definitely doesn't warrant us being any higher than 11 to this point, in my opinion. Um, what do you think? Anything kind of? I know you've got it pulled up as well. Anything
Mm.
stick out to you, man?
No, man. And honestly, with the Tennessee, I was just gonna say, I think that's perfect again. Still, when we were at 12, I
Yeah.
thought it was good. When we were at 11,
Yep.
yeah, we
Yep.
won the game. So, cool staying where we're at and moving up to that 11 spot right outside the top 10. I think that's
Hmm.
perfect spot for Tennessee right now. Um, and again, I touched on it. Some of these things I kind of touched on. Like I was good about. I'm glad Texas moved up to 4. Texas A&M, I mean, I moved up to
Hmm.
4 over Ole
Yep.
Miss. With Ole Miss
They
struggles.
deserve it.
And I like that they flipped Indiana up to 3. I think that's, being up in that top 5 for sure for beating Oregon. And Oregon dropped to 8, so it's, obviously dropped, but still pretty close game throughout against a tough top 10 matchup. I don't like to see teams get punished so bad when they lose to close games against other top 10 teams. You basically flip flop them. I mean, that's kind of what they did. They flipped them, and I
I'm
think
cool
that's
with it.
perfect, perfect to do there. Um, and then Texas, I am glad to see them kind of pop back up into the top 25 because I feel like they deserved it. Get themselves back in there on that win after that top win they had. So,
Yep.
um, but man, again, still a lot of SEC teams sitting there, man. In this whole
For
thing, I
sure.
mean, you got LSU, Georgia, Texas A&M, and Bama all ranked, and Ole Miss all ranked
Mhm.
top 10 teams. 5 out of the top 10 are
Yeah.
SEC. So, um,
Yep.
and
And
again,
and basically half the top 20 is SEC. I mean,
yeah,
you're shy one team of being half of the top 20. So
yeah, it's crazy, man. Again, I just to restate on that about Texas Tech, man, being at number
mhm,
7. I haven't paid any attention to them, dude, to be honest with you. And
me either.
they're sitting there, and they beat
Me
Kansas
either.
42-17. Wasn't a close game. So interesting to see them up there in the mix of things too. So it's not a team that we've really got to see up there, in a while. I mean, I've seen Texas Tech
Right.
in years be like, get up in the rankings some, but right there in top 10 like that, they're having a good season, man.
Yeah. It's interesting, man. It's so difficult. It's physically impossible to watch all the games. You can't
Yeah,
watch them. You've got to pick and choose. It's hard to watch two or three games at the same time. You got to pick and choose what you want to watch, and unfortunately, you're going to lean towards certain teams, and you're going to miss out on some really good football sometimes. So,
yeah,
things that kind of stick out to me. Obviously, we mentioned it in the last episode. We thought if Texas beats Oklahoma, do they deserve to get back into the top 25? We both agreed they did.
yeah,
We thought sliding them anywhere in that 23, 24, 25 spot. They're sitting there at 21. So be it. Whatever. That's good. Interesting. Cincinnati 24, Nebraska 25, Memphis 22. Those are things that kind of draw attention to me just because you don't ever really see these types of teams ranked. It kind of just shows you the parity that we have in college football so far this season, man. Indiana being number 3. I mean, are you kidding me?
yeah.
Those are things that you just
Uh,
typically you're not used to seeing.
for sure. And Nebraska, it's been a long time since you've seen them be,
100%,
competitive. So yeah,
100%. Yeah, man. Crazy, crazy, crazy week of college football. Next weekend, or this coming up weekend, there are even crazier games. Like we said earlier in this episode, biggest game of Tennessee's season so far coming up this weekend. Number 6 Alabama versus number 11 Tennessee.
yeah,
Uh, we'll have a preview for you on that one on
for sure,
Friday
man. One last thing I wanted to add to the AP that I noticed there.
for
Michigan
sure.
got the boot, by the way. USC got back in there. So
Yeah.
actually, Ohio State doesn't have a ranked opponent at this point in time left in the season. So just saying. But
So
that's
that would mean that let just saying that Ohio State wins out, which highly
uh,
likely. That would mean they only have two ranked, right? Is that right? Two
yeah,
ranked wins or even
yeah.
opponents?
Texas and Illinois, and of course they knocked Illinois out of being ranked. I'm just saying easy schedule, dude. Easy.
Yeah,
They,
easy
you
path
can't
for
argue
sure.
that with me. You can maybe argue, like I said, I'll give Ohio State's a tough team, man. I'm not doubting that. Their defense is great, but
Uh-huh.
that is an easy path, Ohio State fans, and you can't argue that. There's,
Yeah,
you can't, man. I mean, there's just nothing that you can say to convince me otherwise that you don't have an easy schedule. And your best,
no.
You got 2 ranked wins, Texas and Illinois, and that'll be your only ranked wins. Now, granted, when you make schedules, they come out. Penn State should have been. Michigan probably would have been a team. This year, they kind of were maybe there. I mean, they
Hmm.
wouldn't have been like no top rank. Penn State should have been a big game, and they fell off. I
Yep.
understand that in schedule making, but that doesn't change the fact that the way it is this year, don't have a tough schedule at all. So,
Yeah, I mean, and that's not hating. That's not
no,
not knowing ball. That's common sense. All you got to
yeah,
do is Google Ohio State schedule, and you have Texas week 1, and then look at the teams after Grambling State, Ohio,
yeah,
Washington, Minnesota. I
it,
mean, come on, man.
it is what
It's
it is, man.
just it's funny.
But
It's funny.
we don't know ball, but
We don't.
no.
We
But
don't. We just get on here and guess.
to be fair, it feels like that sometimes this year. But hey,
That's about all you can do so far this year, man.
yeah. Hey, shout out to the AP poll for not really having. We don't really have any complaints on it the last couple of
No.
weeks. I think done pretty good.
Yeah.
So, hey, shout
Yeah,
out
it
to that.
seems like they're starting to get everything kind of figured out. And there's been a lot of people say this, and we've mentioned it on this podcast too. Don't put the AP poll out until about 3 or 4 weeks into the season, man. I mean,
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? Because there's going to
for
be a
sure.
lot of stuff on there that doesn't make sense. You can put out your preseason ranks all you want, just kind of, taking an estimate on where you think teams stand, but don't put that official thing out till about 3 or 4 weeks into the season.
Yeah, yeah. And I love some preseason rankings. Don't get me wrong.
Me too.
Just
We
maybe
love
not
it.
in the official stuff, but hey. Um, but yeah, man, I think it's going to be a interesting season moving forward. Looking forward to next weekend. Anybody
Yep.
that's watching this, I don't think we get to say it this time. Make sure you like, subscribe, really help us
Hmm.
out there. And if you want to
Yep.
continue to listen to opinions we have on some stuff, we're just a couple football fans, man. Just enjoy the game. So, Adam, you
That's
got
right.
anything you'd like to say?
No, no, I don't, man. Just thank you all for subscribing. Thank you for following us and watching and hopefully enjoying what we do. We love what we're doing.
Yeah,
We're just trying to continue to get better at it and grow and push the channel as far as we can push it. If there's
absolutely.
things that you all want to hear us talk about, or if you want to debate us on anything, just jump in those comments. Tell us what you think. Tell us
Yeah,
what you'd like to hear us talk about, and that's all I can really say. Appreciate
hey,
all of you all.
absolutely. We will get on there and reply. We like to. So,
That's
but
right.
as always, man, it's been a good time. Adam, till the next one, dude. I'll see you.
All right, take care, brother.